Hello and welcome back. We are going to continue with the first chapter of history, that is the rise of nationalism in Europe. Today we will see how nationalism emerged in Europe. At that time, Europe was quite different from what we see today. By the mid-18th century, there were no national state in Europe. Germany, Italy, Switzerland were divided into kingdoms. Now let's understand what is nation state means. It means an independent country or state where large group of people share common language, common history, common tradition, government with agreement. But all this was not there in the mid-century Europe. There was lot of diversity among the people of Eastern and Central Europe. For example, the Habsburg Empire, which ruled over Austria-Hungary, was a patchwork of different region and language. In Habsburg Empire, people spoke 3 different languages: French, Italian, German. Apart from linguistic differences, within the boundaries of the empire, lot of peasants also lived. Such differences do not easily promote a sense of political unity. Now, how did the nationalism and the idea of nation state emerged? Let's see in the next topic. Basically, Europe was divided into 2 social classes at that time, and later on a third class also emerged. Now let's see what are these 2 social classes. First was aristocracy. They were the land-owning class, socially and politically dominant class. They spoke French language, numerically small group. Their families were connected with marriages. They were united in common way of living. Now the second class was of the class of peasantry. They were the majority population, cultivated and looked after the land of aristocracy. After the growth of industrialization in Europe, a third class also emerged there, and this was the middle class. Now, middle class included industrialists, businessmen, professionals like teachers, doctors, clerks, lawyers, educated and liberal middle class. Now, this group played an important role in bringing nationalism in Europe. It was among this educated liberal middle class that 2 ideas emerged. 1, national unity, and 2nd, liberal nationalism. National unity, as you have seen earlier, it means sharing common language, common history, common culture, and a government by choice. Now, what is liberal nationalism? For new middle class, liberal nationalism means freedom for the individual, equality of all before the law, government must rule with people's agreement, end of autocracy and of clerical privileges as it was enjoyed by the priest of that time, and then constitution and representative government like we have in India today. With these two ideas, there were two problems also. One, right to vote was not given to all. Only men above 21 years of age and the men who own property can vote. Throughout the 19th century and till the early 20th century, non-propertied men and women organized many movements to get the right to vote or for political equality. Now the second problem was the problem of trade barriers. State to state trade restrictions were there. Traders had to pay custom duties on each custom barrier. Each region also has its own weight or measures. In 1834, Customs Union or Zollverein was formed. Now, what were the measures of this custom union? It is started by Prussia and many German states joined it later on. This union introduced certain changes. Number one, it abolished trade barriers. Number two, reduced the number of currency from over 30 to 2. Now this actually led to the economic liberalism in Europe. And with this, we come to an end of today's class. In the next class, we will take up the next topic of this first chapter. Till then, take care and bye.